for an original sound.
Hey guys, welcome back to Deathmark. Let's continue. We are just about to finish up Chapter 4. There's no one I think for us to talk to, is there? Mary isn't here anymore. Should I rest for today? Let's rest. I decide to rest for now. Now the reason I usually save just before the exact ending is because I usually end up going right to editing. Chapter 4, Mizzou over. It's been nearly a day since we found Mary. We're like a boat adrift on the ocean without a compass to guide us. Who knows where the currents will take us? Will we find salvation at the end? Hey, Mr. Anon. Looks like we wasted a whole day. Is it going to be like this every day? If you're done checking in here, why don't we take a look outside? Mary said unnecessary contact with outsiders could speed up the Mark's curse. And if I lose any more of my memories, I'm not sure I'll be able to function. For the past 10 days, the only other person I've spoken to is the convenience store clerk. That explains why we've only had TV dinners and snack foods to eat. But sitting and waiting isn't going to accomplish anything. I'd rather not wind up forgetting my own name like you. Not that I completely believe that this cursed thing is real. She raises her voice to hide how it shakes. She's still stubbornly sticking to her denial of the existence of spirits in the Mark. But I know she's already accepted it. After all, she went through it herself last night. Ghosts and curses don't exist. Why'd this have to happen to me? Hiro is startled at the sudden knock. A visitor in the middle of the night. I don't need Mary to know it's a mark bearer. Hi, I found this doll outside. Sorry to impose on you so late. Oh, you get the voice. A tall, thin man walks in. His skin is white as a sheet, and dark circles nearly shallow his eyes. It's almost like a dead person stands before us. You're Anon and Hiro, right? I heard about you and the Mark from Yosuka before I came here. Something about a Mizzou, too. Sounds like you had a rough night. He seems to know Yosuka. Maybe she's following through on her promise and sent him here to help us. Well, let's get introductions done. I'm Shuji Damon, and I think you can guess my occupation. Wearing this thing means I don't have to explain, thank goodness. He gestures to the stethoscope around his neck. Are you a veterinarian? What kind of business brings a doctor like you here? Damon's eyes flicker over the suspicion in Hiro's tone. No need to be so defensive. I have the cursed scar, same as you, the mark. He unbuttons his shirt to reveal a familiar mark on the left side of his chest. It just suddenly appeared one day. Though to be honest, I never thought it happened to me. Maybe it's punishment for being stupidly curious about it. Curious? Did you know about the mark before Yosuka told you about it? Yeah, that's right. There's mention of a strange scar in my grandpa's records as a military physician. I did some personal research. A military physician records would mean they'd be from the Second World War, more than 50 years ago. But that doesn't add up. Rumors of the mark only started about a month ago now. If it was mentioned in those records, the rumors would be much older. There's a reason for that. Patients with symptoms were kept in a secret army laboratory. After the war, all the top-secret documents related to the lab were burned, but my grandpa got the journal out because no one reads journals. Come on. Really, that's an invasion of privacy. He got to write down all military secrets in there. Except the clinical records I found. A secret lab, huh? That's kind of hard to believe. Dr. Damon, you don't mean to say the mark was used as some sort of biological weapon? Every country had at least one or two soldiers who were divinely possessed. People only call on gods when they're in trouble. It was the end of the war, and they were backed in a corner. How unscientific. Don't you think so, Mr. Anon? True, it kinda is. We can't deny its possibility. What? Are you serious? Lady, there's a mark that's trying to kill me. I will believe in any god you want me to. I can see why Yasuka gave you her stamp of approval. The way you consider every possibility is indeed admirable. That open-mindedness must allow you to face the supernatural. However, it's hard to picture the mark being used as a weapon. It seems the 13th Army Engineer Lab was developing something. Oh, come on! This is Japan. It would have been the 4th. It was called the Cannon Soldier. Cannon Soldier? That makes me think of the Buddhistava. Forgive me if I have said that wrong. Cannon. 50 years ago. And the Buddha statues. It can't be. Dr. Damon, where is that lab? Unfortunately, I have no idea, sorry. The documents my grandfather kept didn't give any details about it. I see. Hey, Mr. Anon, that 13th Army Engineering Lab, it's the shelter Zukawa went to. She pulls out her old map. I wanted to keep it secret, but as I'd rather not die from this mark, I'll tell you. This shows the entrance to the 13th Army Engineering Lab. Whoa, are you serious? In his excitement, he starts coughing. My apologies. Where did you get that, Hiro? My grandfather passed 6 months ago. We were sorting his belongings. Isn't the idea of a secret lab just fascinating? So I thought I'd look into it. And then Ms. Zugawa stole it. I accidentally let it slip to her. She loves strange experiments like that, so it probably stuck with her. I thought as much, though. Whatever turned her into a monster is down into that secret lab. That's a pretty unscientific line of reasoning. Using the occult to turn yourself into a monster is utterly nonsense. But if there's a scientific method behind it, I'll have to consider it. I suppose that's just how she is. Was your grandfather involved with the lab in some way, Hiro? He could have been. All I know is he was an engineer with the rank of captain. Wait, hold on. You're both grandchildren of the people involved with the engineering lab, and now both of you have the mark? Yes, that would be correct. That and our lab coats are probably all Hiro and I have in common. From what we understand, people with the mark appeared in the secret lab 50 years ago. There might be something there that'll help us find the truth behind the curse. That's also the origin of the Cannon Soldier. A name that reminds me of a statue. I'm sorry, I hit my mic. The traces of Mizu in the shelter. It might all be connected to the Buddha statues that were stolen from H Shrine. Dr. Damo gave us a lot of info. We'll have to thank Yosuke for introducing him to us. The fates are indeed mysterious. Dr. Damo, will you help us? Look, what the fuck choice do I have? Honestly, I'm gonna die if I don't help you. Of course I'm going to help you. I don't want to die. I'm a doctor. I help people. Yes, of course. Just don't expect anything physical. Are you sick? You don't look so well. I have the mark. Yes, something like that. I don't practice what I preach. His dry laugh sounds like he's deflecting. He's abnormally thin for a man his age. It's possible that he's gravely ill. So we're heading to the shelter. About that, we were stopped from going further by a locked door. That strange old man was there too. I doubt he'll cooperate with us, though. It'll be difficult to break in from there. Where did you enter the shelter? A manhole in Miyamachi North Road. I see. She opens the map and studies it. You're right, the entrance is there. But there seems to be another one. It's at M. Noi South Alley. Have you tried going there? No, not yet. Then let's go there. Hopefully we can get in. New info added to the spirit file. Rumors of the cannon soldier. So, as always, we're going to save. Now, we're not going to end the video there. Don't worry, I'm not that kind of person. Now, I'm not sure who we should bring first. That's going to be the big question, isn't it? I guess I'll start with Zukawa, with our doctor with the map, and then we'll take the other partner. Aloof scientist and sickly doctor. Sickly doctor probably won't be much help. Now, there is a second game to this series. I'm not going to do it right away. I'm kind of letting people request games. I do have an idea of what I'll probably do. We reached M now South Alley. Like the North Road, it's silent and empty. The map doesn't specify the location of the entrance, just that it's here. We'll have to search for it. Even though this is a residential area, the street is completely deserted, which is a little weird. Well, I guess at night, maybe not so weird. There's a manhole. Unlike Kei Miyamachi, this road only has one. I'm sure this is the place. The manhole lid has a place to grip it, just like the one at Kei Miyamachi. This has to be it. Still, this is strange. Why doesn't the public have any idea about this underground shelter? You'd think the sewer department would at least... How the hell should I know? It was probably hushed up so those involved didn't get in trouble. They supposedly performed some terrible experiments in there after all. Does she sound kind of excited? I would be. I'm a terrible person. I bet a terrible experiment fascinates her. I don't blame her. When I lift the lid, a musty smell greets me. This smells familiar. Like the other entrance, the hole goes deep. Thankfully, there's a ladder here, too. All right, time to go down. Go ahead, Mr. Anon. The moment when you wonder if you took the wrong person. Hiro and I descend into the dark world, hidden beneath H City. What awaits us down in that darkness? Will we find the truth we're seeking, or a hell smeared with blood? The sight that greets us at the bottom is the same as what we saw in Kei Miyamachi. The looming concrete walls and the suffocating stagnant air. We weren't wrong to assume the two places are connected. So, this is the engineering lab. It's even more dreary than I expected. Wait, do you hear a song? If it's not some kind of prank, then maybe the spirits of soldiers are wandering around and singing. You have no proof of that? It's entirely unscientific. Shut up about that crap. Sorry. Still, it's a little unsettling to hear an army song all the way down here. It's great to be it's gotta be a supernatural phenomenon. Let's move forward. No, we want to go backwards. So we are turned around, that's what I thought. I do like the music in the background. Maybe I was right. Yeah, I think I was right. There's a pitch black stains. This is blood? What? Impossible. This much blood would be... But doesn't that other thing bother you too? I'm not an idiot, of course I'd notice. That spot without any stains. It looks like something was posted here. There's a clearly defined clean space on the wall, as if something had been there. It looks like it avoided being sprayed with blood because something was originally posted there. A poster, a bulletin, something like that. Well, it's illegible now. The stains seem to be old blood. It crackles and breaks off into flakes when I run my fingers over it. It's a thick iron door. The keyhole isn't rusted. I could open it if I had the key. Well, I don't have the key yet, so let's continue to explore. A trail of blood leads to the ladder at the entrance. Was someone trying to escape? There's a pitch black stain here. I open my eyes wide and stare at the white space that might have been a poster. I only end up drying out my eyes. The stains seem to be old blood. Crackles and breaks off into flakes when I run my fingers over it. Oh, you know, I do have the controller here to use. I'm not going to do it though. So we have multiple ways of going here. Nope. You be gone. Something flows swiftly down the pipes. Yeet. Be gone, foul spirit. We have several different ways to go. Welcome to Getting Lost the game. When I step in the view of an iron door that appears before me, the air clearly shifts. Goosebumps rise. A presence is approaching. That's Morse code. There's an incessant beeping, like from a telegraph. I shrug and keep moving forward. Live or die. The beeping becomes gradually louder, almost as if it's trying to tell me something. The sequence just keeps repeating. This code, what in the world does it mean? We're doing this with very little power here. It's actually, I think, a mistranslation. I hear a quiet voice. Point to your soul. The beeping suddenly stops. Ah! Hiro seems terrified. Hey, Hiro, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, obviously. You're not gonna be useful, are you? Huh, she's acting different than usual. Let's go, I think it's fine now. I'm gonna switch you out. Understood. I'm gonna switch you out because you're gonna be a problem. It's a pitch black. I have my eyes wide, so yep. There's a lot of blood, just saying. Move down the rear path. No, go back. Can't interact with the door. Oh, there we go. Oh. The air in this room is musty. At first glance, I'd say it's part of a medical facility. This is an operating room. And this smell. Thought so. There it is. Shine the light over there for a second. I shine the flashlight as directed, and find a corpse. Hiro crouches down and begins to study it. Usually Hiro would be terrified, but at least for now she's fine. So you're fine with stuff like this? What? We all have organs and bones inside of us, don't we? Only an idiot would be scared of them. Hiro skillfully examines the body. When they're done, they stand up again. To be blunt, the corpse is odd. What really draws the eye is that the cervical vertebrae has been severed. But the cut isn't normal. It's like it's notched. The only thing I can think of is that it was cut with a non-surgical tool. I have no idea why anyone would do something that cruel, though. In any case, it's clear that the head was purposely severed. The head was severed with a tool, huh? The corpse is too old to tell everything. There should be a clue nearby. It'd be best to search the room. Yeah, good idea. New info added to the spirit file in the lab. It's a medical cabinet. Some of the doors are open, but most are locked tight. Let's do something dumb. I search the ones that are open, and I find a notebook titled Research Records and an army short sword. The letters in the cabinet have faded, but I can still read it. The experiment miraculously succeeded. This divine protection, the Ora statue, unaided from H shrine created by line statue makers, using chisel donated by same family, severed head, tooled together becomes the key, finally, our dearest wish. There's nothing else written. Got Research Records 1, projectile short sword. So we have a bit more now. A chisel, like for sculpting? Yeah, most likely. Impossible. How could they do something like that? That's just impossible. We hear you. It's a cabinet with a glass door. I open it and search around. I find bells attached to a handle and a notebook with a black cover. It's titled Disposal Vat Management Record. I flip the cover open. Dispose 200, super dimension. Suddenly, iron door, half spiritualized. Hypothesize, focused mystical forces need sacred object to erase. Safety valve, release code, diamond. There's nothing else written. Got Kagura Suzu Bell, disposal vat management record. What in the world are these notes going on about? Disposal, half spiritualized. I don't understand half of the words. Plus, those bells I found don't fit this place at all. I close the notebook and put it in my bag. Just then, something tangles around my hand. Huh? It's a thin thread. It seems to be human hair. It glitters pale gold in the lights. What? The mark starts sucking at my blood. I ignore it and instead stare at the shining hair as if being pulled in. It's odd, but I get the real feeling that this moment, no, it's here. This place. I've been here The mark color grows more vivid. A few hours left until death closes in. Mumble, mumble, mumble. Someone mumbles right next to me. Wait, it's not someone else. It's my own voice. As I thought, it's here. The two words pour out from deep inside. Absolutely no knowledge or control over them. Memories that aren't mine, words and feelings. Check the disposal vat. It must be behind that wall. Felt weird when standing in front of that wall. Huh? Wait. Mr. Anon, what are you talking about? That instant Hiro speaks, the voice stops. It's nothing. I just remembered something important. You sure you're okay? You were mumbling something strange. I'm fine, really. Just spaced out for a bit. For better or worse, Hiro didn't clearly hear what I was saying. Still, though, that voice. Could it be that my old self, the one that I lost along with my memories, was talking to me? The feeling I got when I saw that gold hair. Maybe that's what triggered it. I haven't heard that other guiding voice for a while now. I guess all I can do is rely on my old self. The disposal vat beyond the wall. The voice said to find that. New info added to the spirit file. Lab number 1. Now we're not done searching, just because we heard an old voice. I open the mesh wire and peek inside, but I don't see anything. I go to close the door, and I see a paper stuck on the back side. Worn out talisman. When I pick up the worn out talisman, I feel warmth flow through me. Got soul power. The worn out talisman crumbles silently in my hand. Someone's enjoying their sound effects. It looks like it's been a number of years since the person died. The dried skin gives the appearance of a mummy. The cut of the neck is jagged. It must have been cut with some kind of tool. So I believe we're done in here. Let's go straight forward. Now we are turned around, or on a different side. Remember that. Have you ever said nope, nope, and triple nope? Because I'm saying it. But let's go forward anyway. Now this is a very big area. The dried blood has blackened on the floor. There's quite a lot. Whoever left it probably died. Let's keep going forward. Another door. So it's the exact same as the last one, so I'm not gonna bother. Opened the door and went inside. It's set up the same way as that operating room. This place must have been used for the same experiments. There must be a record left behind. Let's look. I love the atmosphere in this game. Nothing inside the metal cabinets. Let's see. I open it and search inside. I find a notebook titled Research Records and a small gun. The notes have deteriorated, but I can just make out what they say. 70th next experiment, a Sora statue. Male body and female head. Success. Then, natural phenomena, spirit, frequent, hard, continue experiments. That's all it can say. Got research records and palm pistol. The notes on the experiments, huh? You better give it a read. It's a rusted filing cabinet. When I open the door, a cloud of dust flies up and blocks my vision. A notebook with a black cover is left inside. Got experiment unit correspondence code. Experimental unit correspondence code. It seems to be a document about cryptograms. Inside it says, Canon, weapons codename. Heavenly Buddha, projects codename. Soul, human head used as materials. It looks like Waban code. It's similar to Morse. Never heard of Waban. Now I'm curious. It looks like it's been a number of years since the person died. The dried skin gives an appearance of mummy. Yep, so it's the exact same way. Can I actually... Alright, so there's nothing in there. Let's actually look at her bag. So we have our codes here. Together becomes the key, our dearest wish. Let's see, Heavenly Buddha, project name. Soul, human heads used as material. So now we see why they're saying that. A bell used in ancient Shinto dance rituals. It has 3 sets of small bells, 7, 5, and 3, also called a Miko bell. It's meant to be used by shrine maidens. Shakes Zerabel range long. So it's forever to be used. Okay, good. So there's nothing else we can really do in here. I'm more amazed the electricity still works. Now, I'm gonna just kind of explore and go off the map a bit. We go to the north, to the intersection, and... An outline of a door is flickering faintly in the wall ahead of us. Hey, look at that. What? What? Impossible. Is it another ghost thing? You can't see it? See what? Looks like Hiro can't see the door. That's the spiritual. My mouth begins mumbling words that I don't recognize at all. Opposite the ritual with spiritual. Oppose the spiritual with spiritual. If you touch it with a tool that honors the gods. The flow of the words out of my mouth stopped. Touch it with a tool that honors the gods? New info added to the spirit file. Flickering half door. I am curious. I take out the Kagura Suzu bells. It is just touching it okay? No, I have to. Strange words spill out of my lips again. It's the priestess's tool. If a man displays spiritual power, it'll be destroyed, so touch it silently. All I have is questions, but I have no choice but to trust the other me. I touch the bells to the door carefully, making sure not to make any noise. The next instant, the door physically appears. What? What just happened? What did you do? It just felt like it was the right thing to do. But I stare at the door. I sense an alarming presence. According to my own voice, if I can call it that, the disposal vat is beyond this door. I found some documents about it in the room with the operating table. It must be good to look through those. It might be good to look through those. Let's be careful. That place is giving me a bad feeling. So let's quickly once again look through our bag so you can see what we're talking about. So, 200 superdimensional doors, half spiritualized, half hypothesized mystical forces need sacred object to erase. Is diamond, so we have to remember diamond, everyone. No, you turn your butt around and you get in there. I push open the door, and we head inside. What is this place? On the other side of the door is a large empty area, remnants of a vault. Is this the disposal vat? It should be, but it's not quite what I expected. Oh, something's on the ground. A katana? I got a rusted army sword. I take what Hiro picked up. I shine the flashlight around the area. Are these heads? Heads of the Buddha statues? It doesn't seem like they're being stored. It doesn't seem like they're being stored. Is this some kind of garbage dump? Just then. Huh? A sound echoes off something heavy moving, and suddenly the room is lit with a pale light. What was that noise? Let's get out of here now. I try to open the door to get out, but... What? It's locked? What? We've been locked in? A cutting coldness invades and envelopes my feet. My head snaps up and I see water pouring into the room with like a giant waterfall. What? It's ice cold. A polar bear's swim is not something I ever wanted to do. It quickly rises to our knees. I can't even feel my feet anymore. Water underground? Hurry! Hurry and open the door! We'll get hypothermia! Live or die. I have to remember what was written in those documents about the disposal vat. All I see near me are the Buddha heads. I touch the diamond Arhat's head. There's a heavy shudder and the sound of movement. Then, the pooling water suddenly starts sweeping in another direction down to a drain. Whoa. Ah! When I open my eyes, all I see is darkness. I quickly lift my head and rub my eyes. My vision slowly comes back. This is an intersection in the underground shelter. Looks like we were drained out. Looks like we were drained out with the water and flushed down a pipe. We were lucky. I very nearly breathe a sigh of relief, but then I remember Hiro. That's right. Where's Hiro? No need to be so worried. Ha ha ha, so it's you. It's been a while, you sneaky intruder. It's the old man I met in the passageway beneath the manhole street. I try to ask him about Hiro, but... my jaw's nearly locked and my voice is gone. Don't try to talk just yet. The water here comes straight from the T Mountain Range, so it's deadly cold. You were submerging it for near an hour, so you'll be slurring your words for a while. Relax, your friend's fine. So you got somewhere to go back to? I nod as I groan. The old man's face brightens like the sun. Well, that's great. Not that I'm demanding a reward for saving you or nothing. But I am pretty darn hungry. The man eyes me and smiles sharp. As I try to drive while feeling like hell. We get in the car, and even though it's the wrong season for it, I turn the heat on full blast. We dry off with towels and the like, but it doesn't stop our shivering for a long time. While this is going on, the old man... Ew, it's hot. Can I open a window? He's blatantly fanning himself in front of us. Okay, yes, in a way we owe him our lives, but even so, he's being a pain. Hang in there a little longer. Kiddo shudders. We're about to freeze, you know. It was an honest question, and it probably sucks for him, but we still keep the car like a sauna. After driving like that for a while, our teeth finally stop chattering. The man's name is Banshi Ito. That's how he introduced himself. But that obviously isn't his real name. As he sits next to me, Banshi gives off a savory smell like freshly baked bread. It kind of cheers me up, or at least it does for a few moments until I realize it's the stench of dried filth. So, Banshi, what were you doing in a place like that? Banshi remains silent. Are you listening to me? Don't feel like talking yet. I'll tell you in exchange for food. And a bath, maybe? Shut up. I shouldn't be surprised. Life's rough. Wait, that should be my question. What are you two doing down there? It's a long story. I summarize everything we know about spirits and the mark until I catch up to when we met him in the underground shelter. So that's how it is, huh? He nods vigorously to himself. Do you really understand any of that? Or do you really understand any of that? Hiro doubts are reasonable, but Banshi waves a hand dismissively. Of course I do. Who do you think I am? A terrible grudge is mucking up that underground shelter, and you guys are wrapped up in it now. His story suddenly sounds fishy. A grudge? Banshi, do you know what happened down there? I said I'm not talking about that yet. I was born into a noble family, so I've always had the ability to see things others can't. I'll stake my name Banshi Ito on it, so you can trust me. There's a terrible grudge swirling there, and you've gotten swept up in it. He's got nothing to base his claims on, but I get the feeling he's on the right track. In that case, oh noble Lord Banshi, would you tell us? How do we overcome this whirlpool? Banshi replies with a magnanimous flourish. That should be obvious. Whirlpools always have a center. You've got to find that. The center? He's right. That whirlpool, that swirling grudge and the spirit thing. Is that what you called it? The birth of the spirits, the heart of the curse. Something like that should be left within their swirling grudge. If you look for that, I'm sure then. He trails off. He gazes the dark road, his mouth hanging open, like he's out of batteries. Then what? What will happen? The black sky simply goes on forever before Banshi's eyes. Banshi has seen some shit. Oh ho, that reminds me, Anon. Banshi calls out as soon as we enter the garage. Take this. Just a little symbol of our friendship. Got underground shelter key. Is this the key for the underground shelter? I found it when I was popping in and out from that place. I held on to it. But I'll lend it to you from now and on. He just picked it up. Why is he acting like it's a favor? But I have no reason to refuse him. Thanks, I'll borrow it. Damon walks up to us. Hey, you came back safely. Were you able to learn anything? Hiro butts in before I can speak. Wait just a minute. Don't tell me. You aren't going to believe that old man's story, are you? He's fishy. Whoa, that's rude. If you want my opinion, a snotty punk like you should be trusted even less. Of course, Anon. You believe me, right? Let's make him happy. That's good, my pal. Anon for you. Hey now, you feeling okay in the head? Anyway, changing the subject. Good grief, can we just move on from talking about this? Banshee, you're hungry, right? The dining room should have something. Whoa, food! Banshee bolts out of the garage and vanishes into the mansion. Damon gives me an exasperated look. Anon, it seems you've got another troublemaker on your hands. Yeah, we do. To appease the starving Banshee, I offer him some cup of noodles and a sweet buns. The epitome of hunger, he greedily begins scarfing it down like a starving dog. Do you blame him? That was enough for 10 people. He devours all of it, and I'm reminded of a high-power vacuum cleaner.
Excellent!
I haven't been this full in forever. Good for you. Now answer our questions. What were you doing down there? Well, that's an easy one. Because it's my home. What? Been living there ever since I found it 10 years ago. It's not too shabby a place. Keeps me out of rain and no darn brats messing with me. Though it gets a mite cold in the winter. I don't know how to respond to that. Hero and Damon seem to be the same. It was a paradise for me because no one knows about it. Until that weirdo showed up 6 months ago. Some woman doused in perfume. It was winter and I don't like stirring up trouble, so I just stayed away. That must have been Zukawa. I nod. That is my thoughts as well. That was months ago. I figured she must have up and left, so I went back. But now there's something stranger. Which was a damn walking Buddha statue. I know I'm pretty out there, but even I was shocked by that. I even got this weird scar. Banshee removes his scarf, revealing the mark around his neck. You may not believe this, but that statue gave you that scar. I figured. It was the cannon soldier after all. The cannon soldier? How do you know that name? Some documents I saw. Some document I saw had it. It was an old plan to make a Buddha statue move with supernatural powers. A heavenly Buddha project weapon. Are you serious? Are you nuts? Spirit powers making something move? That's insane. Now, Hiro, calm down. So those documents you found, are they still around? Nope, I burnt them for warmth. I had a delicious roasted potato, too. How could you? Maybe take your own advice, Dr. Damon. Our measure of common sense seems to be rather different than this strange old man's. It's fine, my noggin works different from most people's. I got it all memorized. As you say, just tell us. We need to know about that project. This is a long episode. The Heavenly Buddha Project was the pet project of some general at the end of the war, so they built that shelter for it. Ta-da, the 13th Army Engineering Lab. To make the cannon soldier thing, they did tests on Buddha statues. They were brought from some shrine or something somewhere. That must be a shrine. They did a bunch of stuff to infuse the statues with spiritual powers. There was a monk from Tea Mountain, spiritual treasures from all over, but nobody thought anything actually come from it. The project was just an excuse to keep that fanatical general busy. At least it was supposed to be. But one day that statue stopped moving. It went berserk throughout the lab, and people went crazy on a ton of people. The bloodstains and old corpses in the shelter are probably the victims. Some people survived, but they had red bite-like marks on them. The thing went and wrecked the place. Then it stopped and never moved again. No one knows what even triggered it. Someone pissed off the Buddha. That's about everything it said. You know, I'd be freaked out too. Hiro and Damon are as white as a sheet. Damon usually. I probably am too. It's a hard story to believe, but he has no reason to lie to us. I think he speaks the truth. What are you kidding? A statue going around killing people and cursing them? Impossible. Then how do you explain the mark on his neck? Logic would dictate that the moving statue he saw was the cannon soldier. The dormant soldier suddenly starts moving after 50 years. That might be the cause of mine and Hiro's marks. What if you flip that, though? Both of your grandpas got the mark from the cannon soldier. When the soldier stopped moving, their marks disappeared. But with it starting up again, you got them because you're their descendants. If that's true, then the children inherited their parents' fate. Hiro can't seem to muster up any kind of counter-argument. I think she's in shock. I want to ask you something, old man. You say that the cannon soldier stopped moving 50 years ago. But why? I think it was some spiritual person used a thingamajig to do something. So you have no idea. It's the most important part to try to remember. It's not that easy, son. The mark might have made me forget. Taking his age into account, it's more likely it just completely slipped his mind. It seems we must defeat the cannon soldier to be free of our marks. Well, we'll have to figure it out on our own, if he can't be of more help. You seem a pro at this, Anon. We'll be relying on you. I don't have spiritual powers or anything. But you've already faced down 4 different spirits, haven't you? A normal person would have survived. A normal person wouldn't have survived. Now that he says it, I guess he's right. I have been hearing a mysterious voice a few times and having weird premonitions. I even caught myself unconsciously talking when we were down in the shelter. So, what are you folks gonna do now? Good question. Probably investigate the statues. Let's investigate the statues in the shelter. I finally figured out where the statues stolen from H Shrine are. If we can return them, it's possible our marks will disappear. I guess we're going back then. Hiro's still kind of sulking, but she's at least recovered from her shock. We all share the same fates. It's too late to try to run away. Yep. You should find it there. The heart of everything that's causing the curse. You need to stop the cannon soldier. That's what my gut's telling me. What are you gonna do then? I'm full now, so I was gonna go take a nap in the park nearby. I'll sit and wait until you fellas do something about that soldier. Just wait a minute, you old fart. Didn't we just say that it's too late to run away? Okay, I get it. Well, you folks did feed me, so I guess I'll help you. New info added to the spirit file. Underground shelter. Inhabitant other. So this was a very long episode so far. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time for more of Deathmark. I have a feeling this is the final chapter, The Cannon Soldier, and I'll see you all next time. Don't forget to check out my other series and all that jazz in the description. And if you're on other sites, check me out on YouTube and Twitch and my Patreon and Subscribe Star. I survive on all of your guys' support, and I love you all. Go ahead and feel free to request more horror games. You know I love them, be them mature or otherwise. So bye, guys.